Hi everyone, welcome to the next tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to draw this cute little koala. So you can see that we have a lot of circles here and jelly bean shapes. So let's get started and let's see how we go. Alrighty, so first we're going to start with a circle. So we start with our cross as always, and then our diagonal cross. And then we're just going to create that circle by going around the outlines like that. Next, this is a step that we haven't done before with our animals, but we're actually going to create a cross in the middle of the face. Now this line here is straight down, but this one on the side is going to start just below that. I think that would be like 10 and 3. So just below 10 and 3, and it's going to arch upwards, and the middle of that height is going to be across the middle line going downwards like that. Okay, so slightly below here, we're going to do another circle like this. Alrighty. Next, we're going to add the ears, and we're adding them between 1 and 3, just below 3, like this. So think of this as the face of a clock, right? So this would be 11 and just below 10, like so. Alrighty. So next we're going to add a jelly bean for the body. So we're going to start it slightly off to the right like this, and we're going to draw a line to how long we'd like the body. I'm going to have it down there. Next, we're going to start a sweeping action like this. And sweep up the line like this. Right. And then we're going to do the same on this side. Now, if we were to draw right through, you would see that you would have that same effect as this line here, as this line here. Okay, just clean up some of those lines so you can see it really clearly. Alrighty. Next, we're going to draw a big circle down the bottom here to act as a guide for the leg. Now this circle will sit slightly out from this jelly bean. So it'll sit about, just trying to create that guideline. It'll sit about here. Once I've got a rough idea, I'll then start just placing those lines like we did before. So I just wanted to make sure I got the placement right. There we go, and connect all of our dots properly so we have a nice smooth circle. Okay, so now we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this picture. In this picture, the koala is holding onto a tree because they sit in the trees. So what we're going to do is just draw the outline of the tree, or the skeleton of the tree, I should say. So we're just going to start off like that, because this will give us a rough idea of where we're going to place the arms. I want you to start with another circle on top of this big base circle here, and another one here. Now we're going to join those two circles together with a stick. We're also going to add another circle just to the right side of our stick, like so. and we will join it together like this. Next, we're going to do a rough shape for the paws, which is kind of looks like a little fish head, if I'm honest. Now we'll carry on down here and do the same for the leg as what we did the arm. So we'll start with more of an oval shape than a circle down here, like this. We will have a circle up here. I might take that to the right a little bit. We'll have another little oval here. And then we'll do a nice big paw. Now, if I'm going too fast today, because it is a rather complex picture, just stop the video at any time and do what you need to, and then restart the video. Okay, so now we have the skeleton of our koala finished. So now it's time to move on to the next stage. The next stage of this is to start adding the exterior lines that make up the koala and erasing the lines that don't make sense. Okay, get in with this leg. So we'll do a nice swoop up like this, and we'll do the knee, which goes around and in, like so. I'll erase some of these lines so this picture makes more sense. Okay, so next we'll add the paws in here. The middle paw we start with first because that one is the most to the front. And then the side one like this. And then this side one like that. And now we will erase the lines that we don't need. Like that. I'll extend out that foot slightly. Alrighty. So next we will do this arm. And it's a simple case of joining the dots. I like to make them slightly rounded instead of straight lines. Also, as you get closer to the wrist where the paw is, the size here of the shape that you're making, the oblong shape, will be skinnier. So it's kind of going in that sort of direction. Like that. And then we'll do the same up here. Making sure to keep that line nice and curved. Alrighty. Now we'll just erase those lines in the middle, the guidelines that we first did. Alrighty. It's starting to look a bit cute, a bit on the cute side. Alrighty. I'm making sure to keep my lines fairly rounded in this picture because I want to accentuate the cuteness of this koala. And that's how we achieve an animal to look cute, is we actually just make it a little bit more rounded and plump. And all koalas are so cute. Like that. And we don't really need this now. So we'll get rid of that. Extend that up a bit. Now this leg here extends out to where that original circle was. So I'm just going to erase these little trial lines. That's better. Super cute. Alrighty. Now, let's get on to the nose. First, I'm going to start by creating 2 little ovals down in the diagonals of that circle. Next, I'm going to create a dome shape just below this cross. I'm then going to connect it like so. Alrighty. So now I'll just clean up those lines so you can see. Alrighty. Alrighty. Next we're going to add the eyes. I like to start by doing a diagonal line in the middle of these quadrants like this. That diagonal line should be coming out at around the 3 o'clock, so 3 and 10. This gives me a guide for where to put the eyes. The eyes will sit slightly here, just under and just over. So it starts under the line here and finishes up on the line. And they are in the shape of almonds. So again, we start below the line and we finish above the line. Okay. Alrighty, next we'll just add a little smiley face just for a guide, like so. We will also add in an additional side part of the ear like this. Next we will add in the other side of this tree. Branch, whatever you're sitting on. I'm assuming it's a gum tree. Alrighty, let's get started on this paw. First, we are going to extend out this paw and make it a little bit slimmer, like so. And then I'm adding a slight triangle on that angle. Little claw. Okay, so the hand or the paw of the koala is like this. So we're not going to see all of the paw. So we're going to create some knuckles, like so. 1, 2, and then we're going to go out and in. So let's erase some of these lines so we can see what I'm talking about. Alrighty. Well, also just make sure to make it look like he's actually clawing around that tree. So I just extend out the size of that tree that he's hugging. Next, we'll work on further defining these little paws. I'm making them a little bit pointier and turning the end into a little claw like so. Okay, so I just had to sharpen my pencil. Next, we're going to do the same here. A little claw, a little paw, and then another one. Alrighty, he's starting to look really good. Now I just round out this a bit more, this little foot. Alrighty. Okay. Right. So he's starting to look more and more like a koala, which is awesome. So let's add in a few more features, such as eyeballs. So, 2 little half moons like this. And then we're going to add in the eyeball. And don't forget to add in your little highlight. So we'll do it again over here so you can see. You have the half moon and then the eyeball, like so. The highlight and then the... Now we'll just clean up some of those lines. Alrighty, so now let's start to make him look a little bit fuzzy because he's a little bit smooth. So we'll go ahead and erase some of these things. Alrighty. So I'm just cleaning up the picture at the moment. And next we're going to start adding in the fur. So we'll just add in the fur like this, so it's a curve and then straight back up. A curve, a curve and straight back up. And then we might do some smaller size curves like that. And we'll continue this right down to the corner of where his ear meets the head. Now we'll do the same over here. They don't all have to be the same size, they can be different sizes. Like so. Same over here, just a little bits of fur. Alrighty, ow, just poked myself with the pencil. Okay, so now we'll draw some fur for the inside of the ear. I start by just making an outline. And then I do the same. Then I'll just slightly erase my guidelines and just go over that again. Okay. Oop. Okay. So next we'll go ahead and just do a little V at the top and continue to add little bits of fur across the top of his head. Now we'll do the same here as we did on the other ear. I'll continue to erase the guidelines as I go. I'll add in some extra just flicked lines like this to add to the fur. Okay. Okay. Next, we're going to add some fur along this shoulder. Rightio, so now we have the basics of our little koala, and you can add as much or as little fur as you like. And he's pretty cute. Alrighty, so next we're going to add some colours. Now, colouring in koalas can be tricky. I'm not going to lie about that. It is tricky colouring in a koala because they're grey. And then before we know it, we've used a heap of grey, grey-light, and it just doesn't quite make sense. But that's okay. That's why we're here in art lessons, to figure that out. So I have a grey, a brown, a slight green colour. Oh, dropped the pencil. And we might just use a little reddy brown colour. And that should be enough, I think. We might throw in a black pencil as well. Alrighty, so we're going to start with the green, actually. Just so we are sort of aware of where these green bits go. So, a bit around the sides here and here. So, and just a little bit of green down below. So this is like a moss sort of green. So even though koalas are typically grey, there are different shades or colours that can create shadow for grey. If we just use all grey pencil, it's just going to look like a grey blob, and we don't want that. We want our koala to look, you know, like he's there on the page, having a great time. So, just going to add a bit of red in. We might even need a little bit of pink. So excuse me while I find some pink, which I don't have. Just have a look at this lot of pencils here. I might have a pink. Here we go. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pink here. You probably can't see this on the camera. It's a very light shade of pink. Alrighty. Okay, and we might even just add in some yellow just over this side here. Alrighty. Next, I'm going to go in with the brown. And I'm just going to add some brown in here. And he looks a bit funny at the moment, but once we do that final grey over the top, this whole picture will make sense. So I'm basically using the brown as a shadow. So the brown and the reds are a shadow of grey, and the yellow and the green are highlights. Okay, so now we're going to grab our grey pencil. That's great. Yeah. And we're going to colour over everything. Alrighty, and the colour down here.